Who is my neighbor? Now that question is what will define what the gospel teaching message is about. You cannot explain that parable if you do not understand this question. Hello? You cannot, any explanation you are giving to this parable without understanding this question, you are going to go up point. Because the answer of Christ is not to teach something differently. The answer of Christ is not to bring another idea or concept. The answer of Christ is to explain or to respond to the question of this man, of the theologian. When the man asks, who is my neighbor? Christ begins to teach him who is my neighbor by giving him a story. In other words, this story is all about showing you who is your neighbor. Now, in the question, in the answer, Jesus begins to explain to him, he replied that a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half naked. A priest happened, mark all the people that come there. He said a priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. We do it. So somebody here, you don't know what happened to this man, you're afraid. You go this way, he passed by the other side, the man is beating you. He went the other side. And Jesus said, a priest. You know why Jesus is a priest? Because he wants to make the man understand who is his neighbor. Hello? He said, a priest came, he went on that side. In other words, your neighbor is not the one that bears the title. Your neighbor is not the one that answers the big name, the one that calls himself a prophet, the one that calls himself an apostle. He can be an apostle, but it's not a neighbor. He can be a prophet, but it's not a neighbor. He can be a priest, not a neighbor. He can be your elder brother, it's not a neighbor. In other words, it's not a title. It's not what he calls himself that makes him a neighbor. It's not the office of the title that makes him a neighbor. That's why Jesus brought in the angle of the priest. Because he knows the kind of reverence the people of Israel give to priests. So Jesus told him, the priest came. You want to answer, you're asking me who is my neighbor. Let me answer who is my neighbor. Somebody was attacked by thieves, beaten up and thrown aside. A priest came. And when the priest saw the man, he walked the other way. He had no compassion. He was afraid. Even though he's a priest, who has what it takes to provide help, yet in his position, he was afraid. He was not compassionate. So Jesus ruled out that your neighbor is not the one that bears the title. Your neighbor is not the one that calls himself so and so. He can be your pastor, he's not a neighbor. He can be your prophet, he's not a neighbor. He can be your priest, he's not a neighbor. That is somebody that represents God doesn't make you a neighbor. I want you to know that when I speak of neighbor, I'm not talking of people who have big positions or who occupy big offices. That is when we speak about the priest. Now the next one is similar. Look at the next one. So too, a Levite. Are you seeing the Bible? So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. Now, Levites are people who, by God's divine government, Levites are people who are entrusted with anything that has to do with God's house. They are the ones entrusted. You don't walk in God's house if you're not a Levite. It's either you're a Levite or you're somebody, a Nazarene. A Nazarene is somebody who has gone and, you have sworn an oath that you're going to live with God, work in God's house, all this and that. Apart from somebody who made such oaths, like in the books of Samuel. How many of you know the books of Samuel? Prophet Samuel. Prophet Samuel is not a Levite. But the mother swore an oath that if God gave him a child, he would dedicate that child to the service of God. So that's why Samuel served as a Levite, because he was a Nazarene. Now, Levites, but by divine ordination of God's works, about those who have the right by birth, right by birth, to walk in his house as the Levites. They don't have authority. If you go and do it and you're not Levite, you can be killed, because God things are holy, and only want those who have been chosen by him to do it. So Christ was trying to explain again to this man that a Levite also came. I want you to know that that somebody is not a neighbor because he is the one called by God. He's not a neighbor because it is his birthright. People can have birthrights, but they cannot help you. Somebody can something inherited. You cannot call him a neighbor because he is a heir to a great inheritance. He may not be a neighbor, even though he is a heir to so much inheritance. Because at times we see people here a lot of people, even Christians, who are busy trying to be nice to somebody that is rich. Have you seen people like that? Not because the person is rich, he comes from a rich family. You see pastors, they treating that person so nice. They believe this the person are not even helping. They are only just because they are hoping. Because the person is rich, they feel that it will come from that person. They are doing everything to be nice to this person. So Jesus was showing this man, there are people who have things like inheritance, but they are not your neighbor. There are people who have power, have position, have abilities by inheritance, but they still will not be your neighbor. That they have it by inheritance for some make their neighbor. You are asking me who's your neighbor, and I want to answer you. That they have it by inheritance does not make it their neighbor. That somebody is the first son of your house, of your family who inherits, does not make that your first son your neighbor. That have a friend from a rich home does not make you a neighbor. So I want you to understand that things that comes by inheritance, whether spiritual or physically, does not qualify the person your neighbor. Because most times, believers sometimes, when they hear of Levites, they still respect they have about it. If you read the books of judges, you hear the accounts of how some people will host some Levites and force them to come and take care of their shrines and all that. Yeah? And you hear the stories of judges. Now, I'm not going to that story, but what Christ was trying to make this man understand, that there are people you meet in life that have abilities and inheritance, have calling and inheritance, have what it takes to solve problem and inheritance. Yet, they may not be able. So don't fool around them. Trying to be nice to them, pleasing them, doing everything to be in their good book. Just because you have sensed that this person by inheritance is by inheritance, he's called by inheritance, he has what it takes. He said people can be that, and yet they are not in neighbor. Samaritans were mostly what we call color here. Yeah? We call color when you see a white person married to a black person. Huh? He put this color. Samaritans are predominantly occupied by people who have Jews and have Gentiles. That is the difference. Most of them were, their father was a Jew or their mother, but they are not pure breed. They are not like father and mother Jews. They are half. So as a result of them having father or mother from another tribe, from another people, maybe the Moabites, the Philistines and all that. So they are not pure Jews. It's a Jew that married out, or whether the man or woman, they are the ones that are seen as Samaritans. I want to get it there. So because of that, it made them most times they bring in they bring in the culture of their motherland or the culture of their fatherland, mixing it up with the culture of the Jews. So Jews saw them as very unclean people. Hello? That time Jews see them as people, they do a lot of things that are massive. Because they are Jews, but they are neither here or here. Because of neither their father is from another kingdom, another tribe, another race, and their mother from another race, but they are married to Jews, either a male Jew or a female Jew. So that thing made the Jews that time, they see Samaritans as people that are very unclean people. But yet, the Samaritans feel they have a connection to the inheritance of the Jews because either their father or mother is a Jew. That's why when Jesus made the woman a Samaritan woman, and the woman was saying that the Jews teach that they still believe our father, this mountain. And Jesus was telling him, no, that the one who's speaking to you and me. Remember the account of him and the Samaritan woman, the woman he told that she was married to many husbands, even the one he didn't mention to husband. So that woman is a Samaritan, and that account to give you an idea that the Jews do not welcome them. That was why when Jesus asked him for water, she was surprised, she was startled that Jesus would ask him for water because she knows that Jews don't have anything to do with Samaritans. They look at us as people who are unclean. Now Jesus is telling this man that a priest came, somebody has title, but he left the man on the road. A Levite comes, somebody has an inheritance, but he left the man on the road. These two people are people who have what it takes to help the man. Now, a Samaritan, somebody you hate. Hey, Sarah, are you getting it now? If a Samaritan came, somebody you, as a Jew, you hate this one. These are people you see as unclean. These are people you see that don't have title, they don't have inheritance. These are people you look at people that are nobody in the society. You can't even invite them to your ceremonies. You can't have anything to do. You don't invite their houses. You don't give them food, don't give them water. This is the kind of person that came and saw a man on the street dying. And he showed the man mercy. And took the man in, paid for him, nursed him, and even placed a deposit that if there be any extra expenses, I will take care of it. Now Jesus tells him, this is what a Samaritan, you're a Jew, this is what somebody that you hate, somebody that you don't like, somebody you call unclean, somebody you look down on as the low class in the society, somebody can never invite to your ceremony. You know, this is what that person did. And after telling him these three stories of three men, he now asked the man, hello, we're trying to define who is a Christian. He now asked the man, among these three people, who is that man's neighbor? Among these three people, the man is asking the question, who is my neighbor? I just want to answer the question. So, among these three people, who is that man's neighbor? So, the story of the Good Samaritan is not about giving to the poor. Hello? I don't know where I'm going. The story about the Good Samaritan is not about giving to the poor because Jesus said, among these people, who is his neighbor? He asked, who is my neighbor? And the man said, the one who took care of him. Jesus said, he answered all of him, go and do likewise. What does that mean? I don't know who can guess what. Are you getting where I'm going? What does that mean? Your neighbor is not the person that is poor. Because the story is not about the man. The story is about the question. Hello? The man that was beaten by thieves is used to answer the question. But the question, the story is not about the man that's beaten by the thief. Jesus was using that man to answer the question of who's my neighbor. So the real neighbor is not the person that is poor. Your neighbor is the person that helps you when you are in need. Whether the person is titled, has inheritance, or doesn't have, whether the person is loved or not loved, or considered as an outcast, whatever, Jesus said, whatever is the status of that person in society, but don't ever look down on a person who helps you when nobody helps you. That's your neighbor. That is your neighbor. Not what you see. Ask him, who is my neighbor? Say this your neighbor. You talk about the person